Picture this. You're standing in line at your usual coffee shop on a Tuesday morning. You're scrolling your phone, half awake, and you hear someone behind you sigh and say, "I swear, I never have money. My bills are crushing me. I can't take a vacation. I can't get ahead." Then they step up to the counter and order a $7 drink, plus an extra shot, plus a breakfast sandwich, and maybe a pastry because, why not? And look, this isn't a "coffee is evil" rant. Buy your latte, enjoy your life. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't have an income problem. They have a system problem. They're running a default money system that looks like this. Money comes in. Money disappears. Stress increases. You treat yourself to feel better. And then you repeat the cycle next month. If you've ever felt like your money vanishes every month and you have no idea where it went, this video is for you. Today I'm breaking down 10 money rules you can't ignore if you want real financial stability and eventually real wealth. These aren't complicated, Wall Street strategies. They're the fundamentals, simple, but powerful if you actually do them. And by the end, you'll have a clear roadmap you can start using today, even if your income isn't huge. Rule number 1. Never spend more than you earn. This is the base of everything. If you consistently spend more than you earn, you're not living. You're borrowing from your future. In the US, it's incredibly easy to slide into consumer debt because debt is packaged as convenience. Credit cards. Buy now, pay later. Car payments. Financed phones. 0% interest for 12 months. Offers that turn into interest traps if you slip. It starts small, then it becomes normal. And suddenly your paycheck isn't funding your life, it's funding your past decisions. The goal of rule number 1 is to create positive cash flow. If you earn $4 and spend $4.050, you're moving backward every month. If you earn $4 and spend $3.600, that $400 becomes your freedom fund. Positive cash flow is the foundation for everything else. Emergency fund. Investing. Choices. And here's the key. Simple doesn't mean easy. This rule requires 2 skills most people avoid. Saying no, even when everyone else says yes. Delaying gratification, in a culture built on instant gratification. But if you can master this, you escape the loop that traps people for decades. Work right pointing arrow, spend right pointing arrow, worry right pointing arrow, work more right pointing arrow, spend more right pointing arrow, repeat. Rule number 2. Pay yourself first. Most people manage money like this. Paycheck hits right pointing arrow, pay bills right pointing arrow, spend what you want right pointing arrow, save what's left. And what's left is usually nothing. Pay yourself first flips the order. Paycheck hits right pointing arrow, save. Invest immediately right pointing arrow, then pay bills and spend. The GLASP summary on pay yourself first emphasizes something crucial. Automating savings is the most reliable method. And separating savings into goal-based categories, emergency, retirement, travel, etc., makes it easier to stay consistent. That's the heart of it. Don't rely on motivation. Build a system. Here's a clean way to think about it. Saving isn't what you do after your life happens. Saving is part of your life, like rent, utilities, groceries. Start with a realistic percentage. If you can do 10%, great. If you can only do 3% right now, start there. Because a small system you follow beats a perfect plan you never execute. Practical setup, simple. 1 checking account for bills and spending. 1 separate account for future you. Automatic transfer scheduled for the day after payday. If your savings happens automatically, you don't have to choose discipline every month. It just happens. Rule number 3. Build an emergency fund, so life doesn't wreck your plan. Life doesn't care about your budget. Your car breaks down. Your dog needs a vet visit. Your laptop dies. Your hours get cut at work. Without an emergency fund, those events don't feel like inconveniences. They feel like a crisis. And when you're in crisis, you make bad money decisions. High-interest credit cards. Payday loans. Borrowing from people and straining relationships. Liquidating investments at the worst time. An emergency fund is not about getting rich. It's about staying stable. A common guideline is 3 to 6 months of essential expenses, not your current lifestyle, but the amount you need to survive: housing, utilities, food, insurance, transportation. If that number feels overwhelming, start with a smaller target. $500. Then $1. Then 1 month of essentials. Then build from there. The win is not perfection. The win is momentum. Because the real value of an emergency fund is psychological. When you have a buffer, you make better decisions. You stop operating from panic. Story, real lifestyle example. Let me tell you about someone I'll call Maya. Maya is 27, lives outside Dallas, works a solid job, not rich, not broke. But every month, she felt broke because she was leaking money everywhere. Not one big spending problem, 100 small ones. Daily coffee runs. DoorDash when she was tired. It's on sale, purchases she didn't need. Subscriptions she forgot about. Weekend spending that felt small in the moment. She finally tracked it for 30 days. The result shocked her. She wasn't bad with money. She was just unaware. So she made 3 changes. She set up pay yourself first at 10% automated. She built a starter emergency fund, $1 first. She kept tracking, not to punish herself, just to see reality. 3 months in, she told me, I feel like I got a raise, but I didn't. She just stopped bleeding money through 1,000 paper cuts. Then her car needed a repair that cost about $900. Old Maya would have put it on a credit card and stressed for months. New Maya paid cash from her emergency fund, didn't spiral, and kept moving forward. That's what stability looks like. Your life can get messy and you still stay on track. Rule number 4. You can't save your way to wealth. Investing matters, and time matters more. Saving is for safety. Investing is for growth. If your money sits in an account earning little interest while inflation rises, your purchasing power quietly shrinks over time. This is why compounding is such a big deal. Your money can start earning money. And then those earnings start earning money. A helpful mental shortcut is the rule of 72. Divide 72 by your annual return rate to estimate how many years it takes your money to double. Glasp's rule of 72 summary explains it as time to double approximately equals 72 divided by interest rate. Example. At 8% return right pointing arrow 72 divided by 8 equals approximately 9 years to double, roughly. The point isn't to obsess over the exact number. The point is to understand what compounding rewards most. Time. Time is the unfair advantage of regular people. And this is where many people mess up. They treat investing like gambling. They chase hype. They follow hot tips. They panic sell when the market drops. They buy when everyone is excited and sell when everyone is afraid. That's not investing. That's emotion. A Glasp summary of Warren Buffett's 5 rules for money highlights ideas like living below your means, saving and investing early, avoiding credit card debt, investing in what you understand, and continuously learning. You don't need to worship any one investor. But the principle is solid. Build wealth with simple habits, consistently, for a long time. Rule number 5. Not all debt is the same. Good debt versus bad debt. Here's a clean definition. Bad debt makes you poorer over time. Good debt can help you build assets or increase income, if it's controlled. Bad debt examples. High-interest credit card balances. Financing depreciating stuff you can't afford. Vacation debt. Lifestyle debt to impress people. Good debt can include a mortgage you can actually afford, a business loan with clear numbers and manageable risk, education that truly increases earning ability, not just a shiny credential. But here's the trap. Even good debt becomes bad if you take on too much. Just because a bank approves you for a large amount doesn't mean it's smart. The real question is, does this debt serve my future or my ego? Rule number 6. Take calculated risks. Avoid stupid risks. Keeping every dollar safe can be risky if your money never grows. But risk-taking without planning is not brave, it's careless. Calculated risk looks like research, diversification, time horizon, backup plans. Stupid risk looks like all indecisions based on a feeling, chasing hype, FOMO, taking on debt with no plan. Here's a truth most people don't want to hear. You can't avoid risk entirely. You can only choose which risk you take. The risk of investing and facing volatility, or the risk of not investing and losing purchasing power over time. The goal isn't no risk. The goal is managed risk. Rule number 7. Set specific financial goals. Wishes don't build wealth. A lot of people say, I just want to be rich. I want to not worry about money. That's not a goal. That's a wish. A real goal has a number, a timeline, a plan. Example, I want $25 in my emergency plus opportunity fund within 18 months. That tells you exactly what to do each month. When your goal is specific, you stop negotiating with yourself. You stop drifting. You can then ask the real questions. Do I need to cut spending? Increase income? Do both? What's my gap? Clarity gives you leverage. Rule number 8. Automate everything you reasonably can. Willpower is not a wealth strategy. You might be disciplined until you're tired, until you're stressed, until something goes wrong. Automation removes you from the decision loop. The GLASP summary on the 50-30-20 rule explains a simple budgeting structure: 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings, useful as a starting framework. You don't have to follow those exact percentages. But the principle is gold. Create a structure. Then automate the structure. What to automate? Savings transfers, investment contributions, bill payments when possible. Automation is not laziness. It's strategy. Because every recurring decision you remove frees up mental energy for higher-level decisions, career moves, side income, skill building, long-term investing. Rule number 9. Track your money, because you can't fix what you can't see. Most people know how much they earn. They don't know how much they actually spend. They know the big bills, but they don't see the leaks. Subscription creep, convenience spending, small treats that add up, impulsive purchases. Tracking is not about shame. It's about awareness. Treat your personal finances like a business. Income, expenses, profit, your savings, investing rate. Even 1 month of tracking can reveal patterns you didn't know existed. Simple method. Needs, wants, debt obligations, future, savings, investing. Do a monthly review. What worked? What didn't? What will I change next month? You don't need perfection. You need consistency. Rule number 10. Be patient and think long-term. Wealth is a marathon. This is the final rule, and honestly the most important. Every money decision should pass a long-term test. How will this affect me in 5, 10, or 20 years? People make short-term choices and pay long-term prices. A car payment isn't just a monthly number, it's what that money could have become if invested. Skipping investing for a few years isn't just saving less, it's losing compounding time you can't get back. The most successful investors are often the most boring. Diversified, consistent, long-term, not chasing trends. And this isn't just about investing, it's about everything. Building an emergency fund, getting out of debt, increasing income, building habits. Slow progress is still progress, if it's consistent. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. Money doesn't disappear because you're unlucky. Money disappears because your system is built to leak. These 10 rules are how you redesign your system. Spend less than you earn. Pay yourself first. Build an emergency fund. Invest for growth. Respect compounding. Know good debt versus bad debt. Take calculated risks. Set specific goals. Automate your plan. Track your money. Think long-term. Stay patient. Now here's your challenge. Pick one rule you're weakest at and commit to it for the next 7 days. Don't try to do all 10 overnight. That's how people quit. One small system, done consistently, will change your life faster than any motivational speech. Future you is going to either thank you, or wish you started earlier.